This is Eswatini TV News at 8 live from Babane. I am Notilis Tola alongside Zamanzi Manze. First up, here's a look at our headlining stories. Eswatini continued to dance the Little Ingwala at Eswatini while residents, led by Her Majesty the Queen Mother. Chief Police Information and Communications Officer Pindile Vilagati is warning members of the public against attempts to cross overflowing rivers. The Ministry of Health says there were 75 babies born on Christmas Day of 2023 in government's health facilities. Good evening and thank you for joining us. The Taa Regiment from the Taa region has arrived at Eswatini residence. His Majesty King Mswati III was expected to welcome the regiment on Tuesday evening. Meanwhile, Taa from other regions of the country have also started to arrive at the royal residence.
It was a triumphant arrival for the regiment, which was commissioned by His Majesty the King at Buhleni Royal Residence on Monday. The road from Buhleni to Ngabezweni was no easy feat, but the gallant spirit and never-say-die attitude of the regiment came alive as the young warriors defiantly pushed against the incessant rainfall whose unpleasant presence is being felt in most parts of the country. Well, not surprising at all, as these are lion-hearted warriors. Ngabezweni was a hive of activity on Tuesday, as thousands of Tingaja from all the regions of the country were expected to arrive in readiness to be commissioned by His Majesty. I am Sandile Makanya reporting from Ngabezweni Royal Residence.
On the 14th day of the Little Ingwala, Eswatini continued to dance the Little Ingwala at Eswatini royal residence, where they are led by Her Majesty the Queen Mother.
The heavy rains that are currently being received countrywide did not stop Eswatini and did not dampen the enthusiasm and spirit of regiment in dancing the Little Ingwala at Eswatini Royal Residence. Led by Her Majesty the Queen Mother, Eswatini continued to take part in the ceremony. The Taa Regiment from chiefdoms in the country have arrived for the Lusekwane ceremony. They are expected to be commissioned by His Majesty King Mswati III to go and cut the Lusekwane prior to the main day of the Ingwala ceremony. The Kingdom of Eswatini is well known for the way it still celebrates its rich cultural heritage, as the nation, together with their majesties, will soon dance the Ingwala on the day which will be blessed by His Majesty. This will be the main day of the Ingwala ceremony, which normally becomes a holiday. On the news, I'm Polile Mazia at Eswatini Royal Residence.
The Ministry of Health says there were 75 babies born on Christmas Day, which was on Monday, according to Acting Program Manager, Sexual Reproductive Health Unit, Mgcineni Dlangamandla. 37 are boys, while 38 were girls.
The Minister of Health Acting Program Manager, Sexual Reproductive Health Unit, Mgcineni Dlangamandla, elaborates.
We had a set of triplets which were given birth at Matsanjeni Health Center, and we had twins that were given birth at Good Shepherd. So that was what was peculiar from the other years. And also when we compare the years, this year we had 74, last year we had 65, and the previous year, which was 2021, we had 108 babies that were born on Christmas Day. We encourage people, once they are aware that they've conceived, they report early for what we call antenatal care, so that we can have a good outcome of the pregnancy. Both the mother and the baby should be alive. People should celebrate the birth of someone, not to lose any of the two.
Ndlangamandla adds that in the Hoho region there are 23 newborns, 11 males and 12 females. In the Lubombo region there are 16 newborns, 5 males and 11 females. Ndlangamandla further adds that the Manzini region recorded 18 newborns, 10 males and 8 females. The Shisolweni region recorded 18 newborns, 11 are males while 7 are females. For Eswatini TV News, Fortune Ndlangamandla with Themba Shabangwane Park.
In a statement from the Office of the Government spokesperson, the Office of the Government Press takes this opportunity to thank Eswatini TV for the support and cooperation in 2023. They are looking forward to a fruitful 2024. The office aims to take its relations with the media to a higher level as it accelerates the efforts to promote the beloved kingdom of Eswatini, the Tinkundla democratic government, the people's #1 choice and grand plan, our leadership and the entire nation. Government is ready to come face to face with every erroneous and negative narrative about our king, country and the people in 2024. A happy festive season to all and a wonderful 2024. Asibona nini engwadeni. The Chief Police Information and Communications Officer, Pindile Vilagati, is warning the public against any behavior that may put their lives in danger, which may include attempting to cross overflowing rivers. Vilagati issued this warning in the wake of the persistent rainfall that the country is experiencing.
Some of the rivers mentioned by the Chief Police Information and Communications Officer are Poponyane in the Hoho region and Sitilo in the Shiselweni region. She mentioned that Mdobandoba could be overflowing as well.
There are possibilities for most of the rivers to be flooded in the country. So we appeal to the nation to be very observant as they use their roads. They should not dare try to cross a river if the water is above the bridge level, because there are dangers that you go in there and the bridge just moves with you on top. So this is very dangerous. And we also want to advise motorists to drive very careful, because even the tarred roads are slippery during such seasons. And we have experienced that we have recorded a number of accidents, though we do notice that some people do not report the accidents they experience for certain reasons that we know. But we are going to investigate every accident and people will be brought to book.
At Mzimnene River between Ngwane Park and Lwandle, some motorists who said they didn't want to risk their lives had to turn back as the bridge was submerged under the water. The Meteorology Department has indicated that the rains will continue until Wednesday. Reporting for Eswatini TV, I am Mbongwa Dube in Babane.
Economist Sanele Sibiya says 2024 is expected to be a good year for households and businesses as the interest rate is expected to decrease at least twice. Sibiya says the decrease in interest rates means money is deducted by banks from businesses and individuals with loans will automatically decrease. Sibiya elaborates about the 2024 economic outlook.
In 2024, we might actually start to see interest rate it decreases, so that's something that's going to be good for the economy, more especially for the demand side, and it might actually start alleviate pressure on the household sector and in terms of the cost of living, which was the major risk in 2024 that everyone was trying to avert. But as you notice, those are good news for the economy, but you'd still note that the geopolitical landscape is still a bit tight and still a bit shaky. Russia and Ukraine, they are still at it, and then now there is the issue of Gaza and Israel again. That's another potential issue that might distort the entire supply of oil in the region, because the region where the conflict is currently is one of the major oil exporting regions in the world. So that's another geopolitical issue that we are looking at, one of the risks that we are looking at in 2024, and we need the economy to surge forward and start producing jobs and actually start working for the basic Swazi on the street, of which right now we understand that, we needed to do a lot of overhauls on the economy. We needed to get a lot of the fundamentals right. So once the fundamentals are right, which now we believe they are, what we expect to see is a continuation of that policy now to actually start producing broad-based growth. We've seen from the Prime Minister's first speech, he actually did mention that he wants continuity, and over and above continuity, he does want to see eMaswati getting employment. So what we are hoping to see now as we get to understand the new cabinet is how are they going to roll out policies that are going to be actually pro-poor and pro-people, because what we need now is to get the economy to work for our people. We need the economy to work for our people. We need our people to start realizing this growth that everyone is talking about. So
this year's Christmas recorded less cases than usually anticipated. The Chief Police Information and Communications Officer, Pindile Vilagati, says a man from Gangampalala was stabbed to death on Christmas Day at Pumlamkashi while a woman was raped in Manzini.
Nayo umvumo yeloshile emhlabeni eBig Band kulandzela ukuthi agwazwe ngilomunye naloyo ke lamgwazile sovele uboshiwe siphindze futhi sibe nesigigaba sakamanzini lapho khona ngenwe endlini.
The Big Band police arrested and charged 32-year-old man who stabbed a 36-year-old man of Gangampalala, who was found dead under a tree. We can report that there was a woman who was raped in Manzini. The perpetrator broke into the woman's house. We would like to urge eMaswati to tighten security and also have a proper plan of how neighbors can respond when other neighbors are shouting for help. We recorded 46 drunken driving cases and there was no fatal accident.
The rainfall currently experienced in the country is expected to continue. However, its intensity will reduce on Tuesday. Senior Focus Officer in the Meteorology Department, Butles Milani, explains the outlook of the weather this week.
These rains were due to a tropical air that was combined with a frontal system that was passing over the country, resulting with those strong rains. They won't just pass, because even as we go to tonight, these rains will still be there in most parts of the country, whereby we're expecting to have rain showers and we'll have rain showers and fog over some places. Otherwise, it's going to be cold at night, with temperatures falling to 11 degrees for the high veld, that is Babane, Pispik, and down to Hlangano. The middle veld, Manzini and surroundings, will reach a minimum of 14, and the low veld, the Big Bend and surroundings like Lavomisa, will reach a minimum of 16 degrees Celsius. And on Thursday, Mr. Dube, these rains will reduce a bit as this system that we are experiencing today and tonight will have passed, leaving us with the onshore winds that brings in the moisture into the country. Thus, we'll wake up with rain at places. Otherwise, it's going to be cloudy with sunny intervals and cold but cool as you go down to the low veld. And on Saturday, it's going to be hot as we wake up with fog at places. Otherwise, it's going to be cloudy, becoming partly cloudy, and warm but hot as we go down to the low veld. Temperatures reaching a maximum of 25 degrees Celsius for the high veld, Mbabane, Pispik, and Hlangano, and the middle veld, that is Manzini, Matsapa, and surroundings, will reach a maximum of 28. And the low veld is going to be hot on Saturday with a maximum of 32 degrees Celsius.
The fun that comes from waterpipe tobacco smoking enjoyed by young people puts them at risk of contracting diseases such as tuberculosis. According to the Health Promotion Officer in the Ministry of Health, Calvin Dlamini, people who smoke hubbly, particularly young people, are at risk of being addicted to it. Dlamini says most people smoke the pipe that contains ample quantities of the toxicants known to cause diseases for smokers.
According to the World Organization, waterpipe tobacco, otherwise known as hubbly, is increasing globally and is especially prevalent in all the African countries, including Eswatini. Young people are particularly at risk. The tobacco-free initiative shows that smoking rates can reach 42% among boys and 31% among girls in Africa. The Health Promotion Officer in the Ministry of Health, Calvin Dlamini, says young people should be aware that the hubbly contains nicotine, which is the substance that is addictive.
Yona ke ubhema titiki letinengi ngesikhathi lesincane lokusho ukuthi lo muntu nakadosa le hapli nje badlala.
Dlamini says there are studies that have shown that waterpipe tobacco smoke contains ample quantities of the toxicants known to cause diseases in cigarette smokers, including cancer, and that at least some of those toxicants are effectively absorbed by waterpipe users and are therefore present in their breath, blood, and urine. The WHO has gathered evidence that shows that waterpipe tobacco smoking is probably associated with oral, esophageal, and lungs cancers, and possibly with gastric and bladder cancers. There is also evidence of associations with respiratory diseases. For Eswatini TV News, Sondo Mlangeni with Themba Shabango, and pictures sourced from the WHO website.
The Kingdom of Eswatini has made great strides in commercializing the arts industry by setting up the Intellectual Property Office. And artist Daniel Dlamini says the Ministry of Commerce, Industry and Trade has done exceptionally well in supporting the arts industry. Dlamini was speaking when highlighting some of the interventions that can take the industry to the next level.
The United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization reports that the arts and cultural sector made up more than $1 trillion of the U.S. economy in 2021. Most of Eswatini in the arts space have shown creativity and great talent when it comes to different arts. We spoke to a painter, Daniel Dlamini, who commends government's effort for setting up a number of initiatives that government has set aside funds from its supplementary budget to establish a copyright stream that will enhance the operationalization of the Copyright Act. Dlamini says there is a great need for the establishment of national galleries. He says that artists have great work that they want to showcase, although it's difficult because of the absence of the National Gallery. He says that as artists, they have the responsibility to preserve culture through their talents, and they are willing to do exactly that. The Eswatini National Arts and Culture Council CEO Stanley Dlamini says government has launched regional arts centers and artists are encouraged to register to utilize them. Dlamini also encourages artists and painters to use malls to exhibit their work. Dlamini further stated that artists should also work with arts and culture to try and forge partnerships with corporate companies. For Eswatini TV News, Sondo Mlangeni with Themba Shabango, Mbabane.
The Good Shepherd Catholic Mission in Sitegi suffered damage worth over 20,000 Malangeni after a man illegally gained entry to the place of worship and destroyed furniture among other items. This is according to Roman Catholic Church in Eswatini spokesperson Father Ngamiso Vlagati.
The vandalizing of the property of the Good Shepherd Catholic Mission in Sitegi occurred last night, which was Christmas Day, where most churches held their Christmas services. Roman Catholic Church in Eswatini spokesperson Father Ngamiso Vilagati says the man in question, while he vandalized the property, did not give any reasons.
A suspect in the church was vandalizing it. We suspect that he used the window to enter into the church, and when he entered into the church, he vandalized mainly the sanctuary. He destroyed almost everything that was there in the sanctuary. He turned it upside down. He took one of the statues of the Sacred Heart of Jesus. He crushed it down. He also took the one of Mary, and miraculously that one did not break. He then went and destroyed the windows and also some of the pews, and then went and broke the main door, our main door. We suspect that he was high on drugs or something, because if I look at him, I don't see him as a habitual lunatic or a crazy man. But I think probably it was Christmas time, probably had taken something.
Chief Police Information and Communications Officer Senior Superintendent Phindile Vilakathi confirms the incident. She says the suspect in the matter has been arrested. When asked on reports that the suspect is allegedly mentally unstable, she said only the court will determine if he is fit to stand for trial. For Eswatini TV News, Fortune Dlangamandla, visual source from the Roman Catholic Mission in Eswatini, Mbabane.
Residents of Lwandle and Gundwini areas under Mfongwaneni Nkundla have expressed joy over the restoration of clean water supply in their areas. The residents say this is the best Christmas present they could ever have, as they had been without clean water for over 8 months owing to a malfunctioning borehole pump.
The water project supplies over 700 homesteads with clean water, and the breakdown of the pump at the source of the water had forced the residents to rely on streams and rivers such as Mkupane and Mjezi River. Mthongwaneni constituency headman Themba Nxumalo explains what they have done as a community in restoring the clean water supply.
Ama-challenges lebesinawo ngilokuthi labantu bayagula la ngephandle kuthithana waqala kunaleli tulu nje bengisengalali mina ngehla ngenyuka ngimikisa abantu esibhedlela thithana kude lamandi base bathi jonja cishe tonke letimbombi sicabanga ukuthi maybe nginabe scrapyard so asadi ke usingabe maybe bathengisa kuphi asadi so ngasese sithi sicela ukuthi manje basibafakele lama-plastic ngoba lama-plastic cishe ngona akebeki lula. So siyathemba nje zaze sifaka nama-fitting akhona ke cishe nje enyalo awo ngosiyami siyethemba nathi ukuthi sive sitawuqhubeka sidle manje laphilako lanempilo.
Some residents who benefit from the water supply had this to say.
Sesithodile sesitodle manje lahlobile kulandzela ukuthi ngesikhathi sasengekho hawo bekusinza kwehlela impela.
Kuyinkinga kakhulu ukubabetela amanti lana timva kwendeki.
Ngisengisuke nje manje ekunatha ilanga lonke nganathi nawude manje imali ekwathenga lapha kude ngeke uzunathe ilanga lonke.
The restoration of the clean water supply in this constituency goes a long way in ensuring that government's effort of providing the nation with clean water and sanitation bears the desired results. According to the Minister of Natural Resources and Energy, clean water supply stands at over 69% in the country, and it will also contribute to the country's attainment of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal number 6 by the year 2030. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, Mbongwa Dube, Mthongwaneni.
In international news, armed groups in Nigeria have killed more than 100 people in multiple attacks performed in many villages across the plateau. This has been said by Nigerian government officials on Monday.
According to the Nigerian local government officials, the attack also injured more than 300 people who were rushed to different hospitals for medical attention. The gangs targeted towns in central Nigerian state of Plateau over the weekend, where there are conflicts between herders and farmers. The state governor, Giang Pere, condemned the attack, calling it barbaric, brutal and unjustified. He further promised that the government will take proactive measures to harness the attacks against innocent civilians. The human rights watchdog Amnesty International has criticized the Nigerian government for what they claim is a shameless failure to protect Nigerians. Meanwhile, in DRC, the Democratic Republic of Congo's Electoral Commission on Monday continued to release partial results from the December 20 to 21 presidential elections, with incumbent leader Felix Tshisekedi leading by over 80% of the vote. The results announced so far relate to 1,876,827 voters out of a total of nearly 44 million registered in the country of around 100 million people. On another note, according to media reports in Iran, an Israeli airstrike on Monday killed a high-ranking Iranian general in Syria. Iranian officials and elite militant groups in the region vowed to revenge for the killing, but did not immediately launch any retaliatory strike. The killing of Said Raz, a long-time advisor of the Iranian paramilitary Revolutionary Guard in Syria, comes amid ongoing fears of the Israel-Hamas war starting a regional hostility. Reporting Ampendulo Kumbi, visual sourced from France 24 and DW.
Moving on to sports, Premier League of Eswatini executive member Polycarp Dlamini says 2023 was a better year in local football when it comes to behavior of both supporters and clubs. Dlamini encouraged them to keep up the good job in 2024 as it paints a better picture to the title sponsor of the league.
PLE, we are happy ukuthi ama-games asadlaliwe afika kulesigaba la kakisonyalo.
As Premier League of Eswatini, we are happy with how 2023 was in terms of football. Most importantly, the well behavior of teams and supporters that did their best compared to previous years where it was really bad. It is once again a chance to teams and players to keep up the good behavior so that even our sponsors like MTN, who sponsor the league, do not find themselves pulling out on our support. On the other hand, we noted the competition, we noted from the teams, and we encourage that. For the supporters, thank you very much for your consistent support, making to the stadium to watch their teams. The media also is another fraternity that deserves to be applauded.
Even nayo media nayo ngeke sishiye ngaphandle ngoba nayo ngiyo le kutsata ema-fans leyatisa abantu ngalokho.
That's all for now. Before I go, here's a reminder of our top stories. Eswatini continued to dance the letter in Eswatini while residents led by Her Majesty the Queen Mother, Chief Police Information and Communications Officer Phindile Vilakazi is warning members of the public against attempts to cross overflowing rivers. The Ministry of Health says there were 75 babies born on Christmas Day of 2023 in government's health facilities. And with that, it's a wrap. Up next is the weather update from myself and the team. Many thanks for your company. Take care.
Everyone, and welcome to the show. You know the vibes, it's the beat down. The time is 8 p.m. It's time for you to relax, sit back, relax, and enjoy the music videos that I got for you.